So, hello everyone. Welcome to Scholarship Track. I'm Pranjal Navarkar and I welcome you all to another amazing session of Scholarship Track. So, today's session is all about how to write a good CV. And we have a very special guest joining us all the way from Israel. And we welcome you, Yael, from all of us at Scholarship Track. And we are excited to have you on board with us today. So, before introducing you, would you like to say something, Yael?
Hi everyone. I can't see you, but you can comment. So say please how amazing I look. And I'm really happy to be here. And I hope this talk will benefit you.
Great,
And
great.
thanks for Pranjal for inviting me in.
You're welcome. So, yeah, let's move forward. Yael is currently a computer science student at the Open University of Israel. She's pursuing a master's degree and is specializing in computer vision and neural networking. Yael is presently also working as an algorithm developer at BioView, a company that aims to design algorithms to improve cancer patient outcomes. Furthermore, Yael also loves talking about deep learning, computer vision, as well as mentoring her community with amazing sessions and informative seminars. So we are happy to have you on board, Yael, and we are excited for you to take up the further session. So let's get it going.
Okay, so first, before I will start, I will say that I really want to hear you. And I will, if you have any comment, any question during this talk, please write them in the comments. I will see it and I will like relate to it. And I also really want to involve you. So don't be afraid, like in the middle, if I ask for a volunteer to stand up. I'm not I'm not going to eat anyone, so don't worry. So let's start. Okay, so CV, it's a very tricky part. But let's first talk about all the path that goes your CV until you get a job. So the yellow brick to get a job. So it starts with the sending the CV, and if it's oops, I see there is a typo there. It's scanned. Sorry. Your CV is scanned through ATS. Those are automatic systems that scans your CV. Actually, the phrase ATS is applicant tracking system. I will talk on each stage, so don't worry. I will talk about what is important for this stage. Then they are scanned by a recruiter. Then if a recruiter approves your CV, then you're invited to a first interview. Usually it's an introduction interview, and it will be usually on the phone. If you'll pass that interview, there are 3 to 4 technical interviews. Then there is an HR interview, and then hopefully you'll get an offer. I want to say that this path is for juniors. Sometimes there will be maybe another interview, a technical interview. For students, there will be something like, instead of 3 to 4, it will be 2 to 3 interviews. And also, in those ATS systems are usually only in huge companies, like startups or small companies won't have automatic system. It will be just a recruiter who looks on the CV. So your CV should also be good for those machines and also for human eyes. In this talk, we'll only talk about the CV part. I assume that you talk about the technical part in different talks, and maybe I will come in the future and talk about different those stages. And also, I'm going to relate for basically what is most common software developing position, which is backend. But if like I'm personally in the data field, so if you want specifically to ask about data science, feel free to ask. Okay. So first, I want to know a bit about you. Like, who are you? Like, are you a student? Are you a graduate? Are you already working? Right here, so I can relate to who are you now. Do you have any concerns about anything specific? I don't see any comments. I don't know if it's good or bad. Oh, here it's starting seeing a student. Okay, I see that most of the people here are students in the academia. Okay, so it's good. I will relate to it. So a little bit about myself. Hi, my name is Yael Berger. I'm, of course, I forgot to write my name. Why would I? I'm a computer vision developer here in Israel. And as Paranjal introduced me, I work in a company that produces microscopes for the cancer field, for detecting cancer. And I'm specifically working on a test to detect cancer cells. I'm a graduate. 3 years ago, I founded a Facebook group for students in computer science and engineering here in Israel. It's the largest group. It has more than 7,000 members. I don't know, maybe in the US it's not a lot. In Israel, it's a lot. And since like something like a year after I opened the group, I understood that a CV is like a topic where you don't talk about it. And like in the university, you talk basically about theory, about technology, and nobody really talks to you about how to get into the industry. So I started helping students to write their CV. And I understood that like there are a lot of like secrets that people don't tell you how to write a good CV. And also like I talked to a lot of recruiters and team leads, and I understood that there are a lot of like essential things that people don't write or don't use or don't relate to. So I'm here to reveal some of the behind the scene. Of course, it's a big topic, and it's like I will write most of the things here, but remember that it's also individual. So if you want to add, if you have a very specific, we'll talk about it, but if you have a very unique thing you want to write, you can write something like, we'll get to it. Okay, so as like the head of my Facebook group, I get a lot this sentence. I'm sending over 100 resumes. Why no one returns back? So there are many reasons. First, you need to check if it passes the ATS system. Second, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not sent officially. We'll talk also about that. How do you send your CV? Maybe your grades or institute is not enough. It's not prestigious enough. Let me say something. It's not a deal breaker. If your grades are not enough, or you may think it's not enough, actually there are a lot of students, there are a lot of places. I don't think that this should like what should let you down. You spend so much time and so much effort in this degree. Show your potential in other ways. We'll talk about it, but do side projects, volunteer, talk to people, develop your network. It's not a wall. And like the final line there is like your CV doesn't show your potential as a developer. A good actually point to find out if your CV relates to the like is good enough is giving it to somebody else, giving him like um 30 seconds and ask him what did he understand of it and what are you good. And this is how you know that your CV is good enough or not. But also we'll talk about the following rules to write something good, and then you will see it will improve your CV. Okay, so we start with the ATS scanning. Um, Basically, those systems are the first thing in the line that you have to pass. They use a very basic it's called OCR. It's a very basic algorithm that reads your CV, your file, and they read line by line. So it means that, and they read. It means that if you want your CV to be readable, reduce images and reduce icons. And when I say like icons, I see sometimes students who it's a nice design, but it's not good for their systems. Instead of writing like their technical skills, they will write a technical skill, and they will have like an image of a bar with how many degrees you have in this specific language, to visualize your proficiency. Avoid it. Like, it's not good for this. Like, there are some systems who are okay, but why to take the risk? So don't put those things. Don't add. Some people write their CV in two different columns. There are some systems that know to read different, like two columns, and know that there are two different separate columns. A lot of systems just read line by line. So it means that it will start in one column and continue to the other one, and then continue like the next line again. Make it easy for the system to read your CV. And the last thing is like make it the standard format. We'll talk about what your CV should contain, but don't do anything too special. And you also, if you had the credentials and you have a lot of experience, so you can go out of the box. But usually we're not privileged enough to do it, if to be honest. Make it simple, clean. You can play with colors, but not too much. Make it simple. Like, give your information to the recruiter. You don't want to make it a show. Like, it is a show, but you don't want to make it too confusing. Okay, so a little bit about the structure. A good tip to know which words to use in your CV is look on the position description and take out the words they use to describe the job or to describe what they're looking for, and put them in your CV. It will help you to go into also those, like, go through those systems because they usually will look for those words. And also, like, use the standard structure of work experience, technical skills, education, highlight your added value. We'll talk about it. And if you ask me what is more like what to put first, second, afterwards, start with the most impressive if you have very impressive projects. start with the project. But I don't know, what are you intending? Like, what are you applying for? If you're applying for a student position, I would start maybe with education, but like you can switch between education and projects. And also don't forget to write the tech skills. Just remember that a good recruiter will know where to look. But like divide into paragraphs, and each paragraph will relate to one of those topics. Okay, now we're moving to the human eyes, aka recruiter. So if you pass those ATS systems and your CV is in the system, now usually a recruiter will go over it and check that it really fits the job description. And we'll ask a simple question. How long do you think that a recruiter looks over a CV usually? What is the average? Give any guess. I don't want to feel here all alone. You can talk. Don't be shy. I won't shoot anyone. So statistics show that a recruiter will look at your CV 5 to 10 seconds. That's all. The whole thing is just it. He or she or they know how to eliminate your CV. So they will do it really fast, because usually like they get hundreds of files, and they don't have all the time to do. And you need to remember, it's just one job. Like they have a lot of like positions to like put in someone there. So this is the time that they will spend on your CV. So it has to be good enough for being like at least like being accepted for an interview. Has to be, remember what I'm saying, has to be good enough, not perfect, good enough. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and what I wanted to say is that because they don't have enough time to read, please put all your information in one page. They won't read the second page. It's a waste. So why bother like invest time in it? And also, you're a student, most of you, like if not all of you. I know you did a lot of life, but usually you don't have that much to write in 2 pages. And it also shows that you know to focus on what's relevant. So please cut like the things that aren't necessary and put only the necessary stuff, and show the recruiter that you really have a potential. Okay, so we'll start with writing a CV. So the first thing, of course, is personal information, name, surprising, contact details, mail, phone, LinkedIn URL. It's interesting because a recruiter will look on your LinkedIn. Not all of them have like a knowledge in technology, but LinkedIn is like kind of a proof that first you exist. What do you do? Do you look serious? Do you have anything, a profile there? It's important for recruiters. So like get a LinkedIn, put a professional image. It doesn't have to be like with a suit, but it has to be not like in a beach. Um, and another thing that is recommended to put is your GitHub profile. If to be honest, most of the recruiter won't look into your GitHub, but the one who summoned you for the technical interview usually will do. And also if he won't, or if he, she, they won't, it shows that you understand the importance of showing your work, and you want to make a good impression. So it's recommended to put your GitHub profile there. What is not advised to put? Date of birth, which can discriminate you. If you're too young, too old, don't put it. Address, again, maybe you live too far, maybe you live too close. And it's also not irrelevant. Your photo, again, studies show that it can eliminate people who get in. And your ID number, I don't know about the States, but here, so your ID number is like personal information, and I wouldn't reveal it for strangers I don't know. And usually it's irrelevant. Only here it's relevant only if you're going to work in like a security company, or not a security, a defense company. And also then I wouldn't write it on my CV. I would, like, if they ask me, I would send it to them because it's personal information. So there's other things I won't write. And I have like here a nice example of Hermione Granger, where this is actually how my CV looks on the top of it. Like there is a mail, then phone, then link to my LinkedIn, and then link to my GitHub. And I personally also have a tech blog, so I also have their link to my blog on Medium. So if you have technical blog, I would recommend putting also a link there to your blog. Having said that, don't put links to your other social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Irrelevant and doesn't show, like, it looks like you're not professional. So prevent putting it there. Okay, after you put your personal like contact and name and on the beginning of your CV, don't forget to write a short summary and introduce yourself. Hi, like I'm here. I wrote something. I'm a computer science graduate student from I don't know, Yale University or whatever. You can write your GPA. Usually, I don't know, like what are the grades in States. Usually in Israel, most of the students are like. It's not only in Israel, actually, it's everywhere. Most of the students are not in Dean's List because Dean's List is like the 5% of like the top. So if like you're not have the best grades, I just wouldn't write my grade there. Give them the doubt that you're an average normal student. If you do have like something to write and your grades are excellent, okay, write it down. But if not, I wouldn't write about my grades, only if they ask me. And then you write, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a backend position. I'm looking for a data science position, algorithm position. So because like when the recruiter goes over your CV, sometimes she prints a lot of like files and she doesn't remember for who, for what, like what is the position you're applying for. So right there, applying for a position, a backend position or front end position. And it's important to say that In the big companies, they will save only one file of your CV usually. So you can change it from position to position. But usually, like if you're sending your CV to several different positions, for I don't know what the company will think about it. They can think that you're not focused on one field and you don't know what to do, or they just can like not take it into any consideration, but they will save only the last file that you send them. So if you want like backend and front end, you can write looking for a full stack position, something like that, something that will be general enough to include like the things that you're applying for. And you can write actually also several things. I'm looking for, I don't know, algorithms or a data science position. I'm looking for front end or full stack position. This is also okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, going into work experience. Now, like we talked about personal information and then about summary. Now we're going to talk about work experience. There is also the part of education. I didn't think of writing about it because I assume most of you know how to write about education. I just wanted to add that if you take online courses like in Udemy or other platforms, I would write about it. If you take gazillion courses, and I also have friends who do it because first they have time and second they're eager to learn, which is awesome. I wouldn't write on the whole stack that you took. I would write on the big courses that you took, and put there a link to the syllabus of the course. It shows that you have a passion to learn and you want to learn. And also talking about online courses, if you have the opportunity to take those online courses, I would take something that you also write during this course, a project or something, or application, a website, whatever. And then you get 2 in 1. You also get something to write in your CV when you write about education. And also you can write in the side project paragraph about this side project that you did during the course. So, okay, so now we're moving to the work experience paragraph. And I don't really know. I understood that in the United States, every summer you can have, and everyone probably have an internship. Here in Israel, it's not like that. It's really hard to get into an internship. But anyway, if you have work experience, write everything that is relevant for the next place, and you have to be coherent, specified, and minimized. Don't write now. I know you may like work there for a year, but you have to summarize it to 2 to 3 lines. That's all. The recruiter won't read it. So write about and also like don't write something general like I implemented features, or I fixed bugs, or I wrote tests. Write something a bit more specific. I don't know. I help automate let's say I developed the website with I don't know, REST API protocol. I'm sorry, I'm not in the web field, so I may say a lot of rubbish now, but like only for this example. So you can say like I connected the website with Firebase API, and I wrote also the front end with JavaScript, and I don't know what else you write, CSS languages. And you can also say, if you can talk in numbers, it's actually better. A lot of like employers like to see numbers, so you can say, I help to increase the revenue in 15% because I made all the paying methods easy and automatically. Or you can say, I inserted the QR. I don't know. I insert the QR mechanism that people can scan straight away a QR code from the app and pay to the website, something like that. But be specific and show your how you help the business, to show also the business side of it, if you can. So I wanted to bring you an example. So how do you actually write it? Write your position, then the company. You can switch it, company and then position, doesn't really matter, but it has to be consistent. So if you write like um, position and then company, do it to the whole, like for the whole work experience section, and also do it for like also to the other paragraph. So for example, in the education section, you will write again the position and then the company institute, meaning computer science student at Brown University, whatever, and then years. So keep the format for the whole CV. And here is actually an example at the bottom from my CV. I'm personally not in the mobile field, so I didn't really elaborate about it. I just wrote something very short, and I wrote what I did with which technologies. But if you are going to be a mobile developer, this is your passion, or this is the job you're applying for, write a bit more here. Like you can write another line about the implementation or the technologies. Okay, now we're going to move to the technical skills paragraph. So usually what I see with the students that I help is putting a stack of words without any order, like one after the other, and it's a mess in the eyes, and the recruiter will think that you're not like taking this job serious, and also you didn't put the effort to divide it and to make it well structured. So the way to do it is like take those technical skills and categorize it by topics. For example, programming languages, web frameworks, databases, tests, like open source tools. I don't know, operating systems. I didn't write it afterwards down, but I personally, if you know Linux, I would write operating systems dot Linux and Windows, or Windows and Mac. Make sure that those technologies are written as they are mentioned in the, like, this is the official name. JavaScript should be written as JavaScript in one word, AWS, Node.js, etc. Now I want to talk about the order of like the languages that you write. Usually we'll start with the language that you know the most to the language or technology that you know the least. So put like the one that you're strongest first, and then like the lowest at the end. Okay, here is an example. So somebody like wrote programming, like the title will be tech skills, and then it will be programming, Java, Spring Boot, Android, cloud, whatever, web, database, testing, source control. To be honest, personally, I don't think that source control is that important skill. That like I personally think that you can learn it by yourself, and it's not like if you don't know it, it's okay. It's not the main thing you do as a programmer. But if they ask on the job description to know it, of course I would write it down. And then what happens when after you write those technical skills, it shows, oh, wait, so this person knows Java well, and he or she using AWS and cloud, and they know database. It shows who you are and what is your potential. So don't skip this tech skills paragraph. Of course, if you have example of how do you know it or how do you implemented it, like in projects or in volunteering, like activities, write about it. If you teach, for example, Java or Python, write it down. Show that you know, like show your passion to developing things and like taking your time in those in the technology field. Okay, what will catch the recruiter's eyes? So as I started mentioning before, additional activities. You can write about volunteering or contributing to an NGO or to open source code. You can write about accomplishments and awards like conferences, competition, hackathons. You can write about special records or achievements, like if you're in Dean's List, scholarships. And also, actually, if you have like those interesting things, like if you're on a sports team, something special, and I don't know, you're presenting in your institute, write it down. It shows that you are willing to commit for something, and you make a lot of effort in one thing, and it may show that you can put a lot of effort in other things that you have, like you can sit down and I don't know, like if you have special like talent or awards, write it down. If you have a debate, if you're good with debates and you won a competition, and then like in the in the debate competition of all the universities or something special, write it down. And of course, side projects. Now, before I continue, do you have any questions about it? Do you want, I would love actually to help here somebody if they want to write down together something they did and they don't know how to write it down. So does anyone have here a question? Okay. I say there aren't any questions, so I will move on. I don't know if it means that everyone knows already the topics or nobody understood anything. So really, like, don't be shy to ask. And if you want to ask during my presentation, it's okay. I will see later on your comments. Please don't be afraid to ask. I'm here for that. Okay. So here is an example of how to write about volunteering activity. I took it; it's a real thing. A student helped her. So she was a coding instructor in an organization. It's organization known here in Israel. They're called QnB, and their goal is to teach girls in high school, and also in I think high school coding. So she was an instructor there, and she we wrote together. She of course wrote the relevant years, and then she wrote like tutoring JavaScript and HTML on a weekly basis for middle school girls. The student built their own smartphone app at the end of the year. So also like write about what was the goal of this volunteering, and also like this specifically is in like the STEM field, which is awesome. It shows their passion, and also it shows that you're devoted to others and you care about the society, which also relate like it's something favorable. So don't be afraid if you're volunteering in the STEM field. Write about it. It will give you credit in the recruiter's eyes. Okay, projects. How do you write about a project? So I advise to all my students in my group to have projects. It can be from your studies. Usually you have like a final project at some of the courses, and or you can do projects by yourself in during vacations or during your studies, or when if you take online courses. It's a very recruiters will look for it. So you have like even if you didn't do any extra curriculum, you can take project that you already worked on it from your like during your studies and write it down. You just need to write it. So how do you write about it? The name of your project and a description, including technologies. Here is an example: Wingardium Leviosa app, a React Native mobile, React Native. This is the name of the language, a mobile app, what it is, and then the goal of it to teach children magic. And then we talk a bit about the tech stack of it. The app's database is on Firebase and is connected through Gryffindor's API. I could also write there. Frontend is written in, I don't know, JavaScript, and backend is written in Python, whatever. So write about like what's the purpose and which technologies did you use. It will show the real recruiter, the recruiter that she or he or they won't usually understand what it is, like what in depth you did, and also probably the technical person who will interview you won't know from this little paragraph exactly what you did, but they will see in general that you're interested in technology and you know what you're talking about and with which technologies did you work. And also it shows your passion again to programming and that you're serious about it. And I would also add a link to a GitHub, the GitHub repository of this project. I would actually personally I could, usually I personally don't have enough space on my CV, so I don't have a place to put another line just for a link for a GitHub. I would usually mark the name app or project and then put hyperlink to the GitHub repository, or we put at the end GitHub link, and then from there I will put the hyperlink because I don't have enough space. But if you have, you can do it. There are different ways to link to the GitHub repository. Something very, very important. If you have if you should have a link to your repository on GitHub of this project, please write a README file and describe what you did and put a short summary, because no one actually will look into your code. They will look a bit to see if it's readable and maybe which libraries did you use. Maybe they won't. Nobody will download your files. Nobody will start try to see if it works. But they will look on the description, and they will want to know what did you do. So I will write a good README, and also I will add some screenshots of your mobile application. Sorry, it doesn't have to be mobile, but if it was mobile, so if of your mobile, different screens. If it's data science, like I did, I actually put first I put a graph of my network structure, and I also put a screenshot of what is the input, what is the output. Because an interesting tip I got from somebody who works in high tech is that even in data science, people don't really read those README, and sometimes it's really complicated. I did a bit complicated project, so he told me that, and it's actually true, that if I'll add screenshots of what is the input, what's the output, what is special, what is missing between the input and the output, and a draw, so people will easily can get the general idea, and they will understand that this project has a volume, besides, of course, how many files there and what is going on. But so don't forget to put also screenshots of what's going on. Okay, I'm wondering if to show you good examples for READMEs. If you want, please write it. Please write down, and I'll show you after. I'll show you several examples for good READMEs I saw during of some of my friends and people I know, to show you how a good README looks like. Write it down in the comments. Okay. So now that you wrote your all the relevant paragraphs in your CV, you need to send it officially. Now, when I'm talking officially, what does it mean? There is let's face it, there is shortage in positions for juniors and students in high tech. I don't know about the States, but here in Israel, there are like there are universities and like that teach computer science, and there are colleges who teach computer science. There are boot camps. There are other private courses. There are people who learn by themselves, and like there are thousands of people who learn computer science, and not enough places who can afford having a junior that will basically it takes like something like 6 months until they get in and start working. So, and they will get hundreds of CV for each position. So don't be as anyone else and send your CV through the system, through like those job boards, because the chances that somebody will call you are, statistics show something like 7% from all the CV like that they are sent there, which is pretty low. So how I would do it and how I recommend doing it: first, through friends. This is the best option that you have. For a personal like connection, and also ask them to give a recommendation about you. They can, in those systems, in the systems that actually when they refer you, they can write, I don't know, Josh from university, and he's excellent with people and with, I don't know, technology. And he wrote by himself a very cool app that does ABC. So this is the best way. And also, like, it doesn't have to be a very, very close friend. It can be somebody from that learned with you in university, or you met, from, I don't know, even like activity after like you're doing during the day, like if you play tennis with them, or I don't know, go to the gym with them. Start looking around and broaden your connection. Actually, connections are one of the most important skills you have to have as a developer. I'm laughing because it's a bit sad, because it's not enough to be good. And also, it doesn't, like, if you have good skills, it doesn't mean that you're first friendly and know how to be with people, but also you can pass the systems, but the most likely that you will get an interview is through somebody who knows you. It doesn't have to be, but it can really benefit you. So start going. I don't know, here are a lot of meetups, webinars, which other places, I don't know, like conferences. Go and start talking to people. Hi, my name is, I don't know, I saw you talking today, and I can give you an example. What's the day today? I think last week, no, 2 weeks ago, I went to a conference about deep learning and vision. When I say vision, I mean images. And I saw there somebody who talked really well, and I was really impressed. She's a researcher in university, and I loved her talking. I just personally, I really liked it. And I went to her afterwards and I said, listen, I was really impressed by your talk, and I would love to sit with you and hear a bit about your path. Personally, I want one day to go into research, so this is why I did. And like, actually, we're going to sit for lunch in a week or two. Like, we switched numbers, and we're going to sit for lunch and and I will hear about her path, how she got into research and what did she do. And I did it really politely. And you can also, like, you can see somebody in a conference who works in a company that you really want to work in. So if you come, don't be creep. Don't go and say, hi, I must work in, like, you can't say it. Yeah. Don't like come and force yourself on somebody. But if you say, hi, I saw that you're working in Amazon and I really love to work there. Do you have open positions, or can I send your CV through, like, you? Can I send you by email my CV and you will see if there are any open positions, because I really want to work in a company. It's such a wonderful company because ABC. Usually people would like to help, really, especially because you're a junior or students, and you need to remember that everyone, it will be surprising, once was a junior, so they can feel a bit empathy towards you, so they will want to help. So take advantage of it and use it. Of course, be polite and nice, but try, at least try. Okay, so we talked about friends. You can also use, what I advise people is, like, if there is a job that is open now, let's say Intel, okay, I don't know, Microsoft. You want to work at Microsoft and none of your friends is working there. Go to your link. What I will advise you to do is to go to LinkedIn and search people in Microsoft. And it will show you people who are working there, from your, that are first connection or second connection. And actually the best thing is actually to look for the team lead of uh, the team that you want to apply for. So I will actually connect with him and say, hi, my name is Lana, I don't know. I'm a student. I'm a computer science student at whatever, and and um, and I saw that and I'm looking for I don't know, a backend position. Um, I'm looking for a backend position in Java, whatever. I saw that you recently opened a Java in this field, and I would love to, and I wanted to ask if I can send my CV to you, and you would apply me for it. And then you can also add, of course, in the last year, I did a course in, let's say it's for mobile, let's say the position is for mobile app development. So you can say, in the last year, I took several courses in developing apps for mobile. And I don't know, React Native, and I'm not for mobile. So you can say I did also, I don't know what you write, flat. I don't know what you write for a mobile. But you can say, and I have actually several projects, and you can look on my GitHub, of course, bringing the GitHub link, and see all my work there. And that's it, Kilo. It doesn't have to be. I know it's really, really embarrassing to put yourself up front and ask for help. But you have to be activist in searching for a job, and to show your potential. And I want to say that I will go through the last line here, and then I will say another thing. So the third option is to do the same thing as I said with team members or a team lead, but only through the HR person in the company. And they, believe me, they get tons of messages. Like they know, they get it. This is for them is not something unusual. Um, um, so for like you can ask actually for an HR for a referral, or you can ask her, how can I submit my CV for you? This is their job, so don't worry. Actually, I have a very close friend who, what he did is he started contact with HR in gazillion tech companies. I'm not kidding. He just like searched for weeks for any like tech company he knew, and search for the HR person there and contact with them and write, hi, my name is, let's say name, David. I'm a computer science student at Tel Aviv University. And on my second year and I'm looking for a backend position. Do you have any open position? And he sent something like 20 messages like that. And a lot of them said, oh, sorry, like, we don't have something. Or they said, yeah, look on our website. And actually, with one of them, she said to him, actually, we don't have one. Talk to me in a month. And when he got back to her in a month, she said, oh, like you remembered me. Here is the link. I would actually love to invite you for an interview. And he got in, and actually, like, he went to the interview and actually got in. So don't be shy to send messages, but don't be rude. Respect their time. I actually heard a very interesting lecture by a Google recruiter. Um, Originally, he is from Israel. Now he works in the United States. He told that he, as a recruiter, sometimes get, I would call it, I don't know if it's offensive or rude messages, but people write to him, listen, dude, submit my CV to this position. Like, wait, who are you? What do you want from me? Nice to meet you too. Thank you. So be polite, like introduce yourself and show respect. Like, right, thank you very much. Have a good day. It's important. If you want that they will respect you, you need to respect them. I see that there is a question here. What is the difference between a resume and a CV? I know that, like, from the dictionary part, there is a difference between a resume and CV. I'm not really, like, I don't really remember what's the difference, but for the working industry, it doesn't really matter. There's only one file. It has to have all your details, and that's it. This is the short answer for it. I think resume is something like it doesn't have all your background or something like that. But usually, if a job, like a description, asks for a resume or a CV, for you, it's the same. Okay. And now, after we talked about all the things that the good CV should have and how to send it, so your work starts here. From here, it's your work, and you should start sending your CV and move forward. And of course, don't forget to learn for interviews during this during this process of sending the CV, because I have a friend, and there are many people who send a CV, and only after they get an invitation they start learning, and it's a bit wrong, because usually, like, you will be invited for an interview a week later, and why not, like, in the same time that you send your CV, also start learning, go over LeetCode and other HackerRank and other websites. Start learning for those interviews. You will come well prepared. Don't miss the chance of, like, being invited for this interview. And that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, so it was a great session. Like, I don't think anybody will have any questions because it was so informative. And the way you gave detailed information on writing a perfectly curated CV, like be it what length it should be, what keywords it should have to pass it through ATS systems, and the content students should actually put in. That too with examples was really worth listening to. So we had a question about resume and CV, which you already answered. And yes, so yeah, you can always contact Yael on this email ID. She will be always open to guiding you for CV and resumes. Even I'm gonna send my CV to Yael
Oh no. 20 bucks.
for a second opinion, for surely, surely.
And I'm here if you want anything else. If you want tips on how to get into data science, maybe I can come and talk about it. It's another topic. Or if you want any further talk about technical interviews, which is also a very interesting topic, um, or about concepts about
Deep learning,
why
neural networking.
somebody, yeah, networking is also very interesting. I just saw a very funny example today. Like, I wrote to somebody, here is an example. Don't learn from me because I'm a bit out of the box. I saw today on LinkedIn somebody who posted a job offer. I said, "Come work with me," and all the employers there were men. There wasn't one, even one female. So I wrote to him, and this is because I am the head of a huge Facebook group, and I also work, so I
Wow.
have the privilege. So I wrote to him, I hope that next time I will see more women in the photos that you publish. And he said, and then he kind of not blamed me, but wrote, oh yeah, can you, like, I hope also you will help us with that. And then I wrote back a bit bravely, does that mean that you invite me for an interview? And he said, yes,
Mhm.
why not? I will PM you. And I wasn't expecting that, and I didn't really like want this offer. But it shows you sometimes that sometimes you have to go out of the box to get job like offers. Um, if my boss is here, of course I'm not going there. I don't. it
Also, the
happened
last
really
point. Yeah, yeah.
spontaneously. But
Also, the
like if
last
you
point
see,
you said about networking is very important, like especially on LinkedIn and Twitter. Nowadays, everything is dependent on networking.
it is like if you see, like I see students who see somebody, like somebody who writes on, oh, we're looking for people in my team. Write down, like comment there. I would actually love to send you my CV. If you see that somebody wrote about, oh, we just raised now, I don't know, that and that sum of money, it means that they will have soon open positions. Like, take advantage of it. Ask, you can write to them, oh, I'm so happy for you for raising this money. Will you have soon open positions for juniors? Be activist. Don't lay back.
Yeah,
So yeah.
exactly, exactly. So yes,
Are there any further
so we
questions?
will. You elaborated so well. Our
I'm
audience doesn't have
trying
any
my
question.
best.
Yeah, right, right. So yes, we will
So
end
it was
here.
really nice talking to you, and maybe we'll in the next session we'll have something about networking, which is
Yes, sure, sure.
very interesting. And to tell you, to be honest, as someone who looks different and has there is a lot of discriminations towards somebody towards people with disabilities or people who look different. This is really hard. I didn't talk about it at all here, but it
Mm-hmm.
is harder, and you are judged more harshly. Mm, Networking is one key to get to positions.
Yeah,
So it's important to learn how to do it well.
exactly. We really gonna keep a session on networking, especially with you, for sure.
20 bucks.
Great, great.
Okay.
Okay, so it's time to, yeah, it's time to say goodbye. So let's end it over here. Chalo. Bye.
Bye.